Hello, friend. Welcome to Marine Engineering Hub. This is your narrator, Ravi Gupta. Today, we are going to talk about chain adjustment. In today's topic, we are going to see how we are going to adjust chain in small engine. Then we are going to see how we are going to adjust chain in large engine. In large engine, I am going to explain you the two method which is employed, one and two. So basically, you stick to the last. I hope today you are going to learn a very important thing which is being asked in MEO class 2, MEO class 4 exam, and also it is very important for carrying out the daily routine chain inspection for tightening. But before starting the video, I must tell you that I have made a video regarding the chain drive link explanation in which I have explained about different thing about the chain, how the link is attached with the pin, roller link, side plate, everything, and why and how we are going to carry out the inspection and what are the defects. So please do watch that video. It is showing in the I section. You can click and you can watch this video, and after that you come and watch this video as this video will be correlated. So let's begin the video of a chain adjustment. So as you can see in this diagram, this is camshaft drive, this is crankshaft drive, and this is the chain tightening wheel here with a chain tensioning bolt. So what is happening when the crankshaft is driven? It is rotating the camshaft drive and it is happening in this way. Now if we want to tighten the chain wheel, in that case we have to loosen this chain tightening tensioning bolt and we have to retighten it. But how we will know that the chain is properly tightened or not? So in small engine we have a very easily we can know how. Simple method of checking the chain drive is to bring the longest side of the chain to the on the free end by engaging it with the turning gear. So first thing we are going to do, yeah, make sure before doing the all this checking is the pre-check, which I have not written here, but we should keep in mind is that first thing is that engine should be stopped. Second is that turning gear should be engaged. Lubrication should be stopped. Fourth thing is the propeller clearance should be taken. And after that, we have to, as the crankcase space is the enclosed space, we have to check an enclosed space permit. We have to make sure properly ventilated. And after that, we'll start the chain adjustment process after pre-check. And most important is the toolbox meeting to have a efficiency working capability hand. So after carrying out all these things, we are going to do the chain checking. So after engaging turning gear, we will bring the longest side to the free end like here. Okay, and after that we will stop the engine in this position, means we will stop the turning gear from rotating, and after that we will move this, means we will push it, move it by a hand in a transverse direction. As you can see here, this is a transverse direction, this is a transverse direction. In that we will push the chain drive. Okay, and as we will push, we will check that it should move at least one half to one link in transfer direction. If it is moving more than half or one link, it means it is loosened up, it is too loose. And if it is not moving more than, means not even half or one link, it means it is over tightened. So in a small engine we can get the idea by pulling and pushing the chain drive in transverse direction, like in this direction, that whether the chain wheel is over tightened or under tightened. If it is moving only half and one link, it is perfectly tightened, and if it is more or less, we have to again carry out the whole process. Okay, so same thing I have written here. Stop the engine in this position, the chain is moved back and forward by the hand and transverse movement is checked. It should be between half to one link of a chain drive. Adjustment is carried out by tightening or slackening the nut over tension. If it is not, we will slacken the nut and we will tighten it and we'll again check it. So in small engine this is simple, but let's see the large engine scenario. Now this image you can see, as you can see the complication which has been coming in small and large engine. Means here as you can see, this is the camshaft drive, this is the crankshaft drive, this is the moment compensator, guide bar, this is the chain tensioning wheel nut. Okay, so what I've written here, as the size of the chain increases with the increased engine power, it is difficult to check the tension by pulling and pressing the chain link, so another method is used. Means now as the chain is getting bigger and stronger and thicker, now by normal human hand or by normal human force we can't push it or pull it half or one link, so we will not get an idea whether it is tightly properly or not. So what we are doing, but before carrying out the tensioning of the chain, it is necessary to ensure that the moment compensator weight is in downward direction. Also, the second point is that first is that we are not able to get a clear idea whether it is under tightened, perfectly tightened, over tightened by pulling and pushing it in transfer direction. As you have seen here, we are doing it and we are knowing okay, it means it is okay, but not in this case. Now, the moment compensator is also incorporated in larger engine to ensure the first and second vertical and horizontal direction are within limit. I will cover it in later section. I will okay. So this moment compensator weight which is provided, it should be in a downward direction when this chain tightening process is carried out in larger engine. Second thing is that we will see what are the method we are going to employ, means for tightening the chain wheel. So what I mean to say that in large engine we are, whenever we want to check, we have to check it by loosening this tensioning chain wheel. Means this chain tightening bolt is to be loosened and we have to check it by a known method. Let's see method 1. Here as you can see, this is the chain tensioning bolt, this one. Okay, I hope you understand. This is the this thing. Okay, and here it is provided. Okay, now first thing what we are going to do, we are going to loosen, this is A, B, C, D. Please mark my word. Top one is the A nut, this one is the B, this one is the C, and this one is the C, D. Keep it in mind because it will be repeated. And this is the washer. Okay, now first we lose all these four nut A, B, C, D. Engine should be turned such that slack part of the chain on the same side as the tightener wheel. Means now the engine is to be turned so that to ensure that the slack part of the chain, means this slack part of the chain is on the same side of a tightener wheel, means this slack part is on this direction. Okay, means here. But in smaller engine what we are doing, let's see the difference. In a smaller engine we are keeping the longest drive, longest side on a free end and we are pulling and pushing it. But here what we are doing, we are, sorry for that, here what we are doing, we are keeping the longest part here in the chain wheel direction for tightening. Means as we will loosen the nut bolt, this will fall down, and as it will fall down the whole thing will get tightened. Okay, so engine should be turned such that slack part of a chain on the same side as a tightener wheel. I hope you understand. This is the slack part will be in this direction. Now let's see. After that, as you loosen all these 4 volt, now what we are going to do? We are tightening the nut B on the chain tightening bolt until there is a clearance between the washer and the nut of 1 mm. Means we are tightening this nut until there is a clearance between the washer and the nut of just 0.1 mm. Means what do I mean by that 0.1 mm is that, means it is just softly touching the washer. Okay, means there is a gap of 1 mm between the washer and the nut, and after that we are going to rotate it 330 degree, means not full rotation, means 330-degree rotation. And as we rotate 330 direction, it will just softly land on the washer. Okay, here as you can see this thing. After that, after ensuring nut B touches the washer, tighten the nut C. This nut should be tightened. Means after loosening all four, we have tightened the nut B till it just softly touches the washer, and after that we are tightening the nut C. Now let's see what we are going to do. Now we will tighten the nut A and nut D. Means basically this is the adjustment nut and this is the lock nut. A and D is the lock nut. So we are locking it fully. After locking it fully, what we are going to do? We are going to do the distance. We are going to measure this distance x, means from the top part of the nut A to the top part of the bolt. So here the distance should be x should be between the range of should be less than the 165. If the value is 165, it means the tightening is not proper, and if it exceeds 265, it means there is problem regarding the chain, means certain elongation has occurred, abnormal wear has occurred, or the bush has worn out. So this thing we have to eliminate, means by measuring the distance x we are getting the idea, means what are the condition of the chain, right? So what I have written here, measure the distance x and keep it in record. Its value should be less than 165. If exceeded this value, retightening required. Means if we have exceeded the 165 value, it means we have either done false tightening, means we have not properly tightened, means it the time of tightening the moment compensator was not down properly in downward direction, weight was not down, or the large slack part was not on the means tightening wheel side, means some fault has occurred. We have to correct that fault and we have to retighten it. But if the value is come 265, it means that apart from all this mistake, there is some abnormal wear, elongation is occurring, has occurred in chain. So we need to first remove that, and after that we have to retighten it. This is part 1. This is method 1 of chain adjustment. Now let's see, means here as you can see, this is the adjustment of the chain, means the chain tightening bolt is here. Now we will see the second method where you will see this. This is the second method. As you can see, in large engine, if the chain tightening bolt is in this direction and the tightening wheel is here, and this is tightening stud. Okay, it also consists of 4 nut A, B, C, D. But here is the one thing more added to this method 2, means here as you can see there is a spacer, means this is a spacer. Okay, and here is a collar tube provided with a spring. Okay, means basically A, B, C, D, and with a collar tube and spacer and a spring arrangement is provided. I will explain it better in next slide. I will show you. So, and here this is the longest side, and this is the chain tightening wheel stud. Here is this, and this is a moment compensator, and this is the weight here. So let's see in next slide. In next slide, as you can see here, it will give a clear idea. A, B, C, D, and this is a spacer, and this is a collar, and this is a spring. So what we are doing in method 2 is we are bothered about the spring distance. Means as you have seen, I have measured here 20.5. This spring distance will tell us whether the thing is properly tightened or not. But in method 1, we are measuring the distance from here to here, x, and that giving us idea whether it's properly tightened or not. But here in method 2, the spring compression is giving us the idea whether the thing is properly tightened up to a limit or not. So let's see method 2. In method 2, what we are going to do, we are going to measure the compressed length of the spring. Means this compressed length of the spring is going to measure. So first we have measured, and it will be around 20.5, means last tighten value. After that, we will slacken the nut A, B, and C and D. We'll slack all the nut. And after that, the chain is free. Means as the chain is free, the tightened bolt will move downward. Means as we will loosen it, it will move in this direction. And as it will move in this direction, it will tighten the chain wheel. Okay. Now, measure the free length of the spring for a particular engine. Okay, so basically what happened, after losing A, B and C, D, we are measuring the free length. Means as no more the spring is in compression, so we will measure the free length. So I have given a example here to give you a clear idea what is happening here. Suppose the chain was newly installed, the whole process was carried out, and it is recorded in a MAN BMW manual. It was recorded and you will find there. So we will taking example here. Here you are seeing this new spring, okay, which having a free length of 188.5. Okay, when it was whole A, B, C, D nut was loosened up, the free length was 188.5. Now after it has been tightened, compressed, the length was coming 168.01 mm. So the compressed length was 20.5. This 20.5 compression will be given in a manual and as well as will mark on a plate and will stick to the chain drive. Now we have overhauled or we have opened it after a specific running period, and we have found that now the free length of the chain is 187. The first question is asked, why the free length has decreases. The free length decreases because of the over a period of time it has worn out, compressed and vibration. Therefore various activity has led to the decrease in the free length of the spring. And as you know, if a thing is compressed for a long period of time, its length will decrease. Okay, so the free length is now 187. Okay, now as the free length has decreases, we have to again, but the basic compression is same 20.5, means we have to make sure that we have to compress it 20.5. So now our aim is to make sure that the compression we are going to do is 20.5 mm. So when we are going to do 20.5 mm compression, the compressed length of a chain will change from 168 to 166. Okay, 0.5. And this thing we need to registered in a manual or in a data we need to maintain over a period of time, so that we have an idea that after a specific interval of running period we have means open it, we have correctify retightening it, and this is a new compressed length of a chain and this is a new free length of a chain. This will give us an idea that what are the different compressed length of a chain and free length of a chain over a period of engine running interval. Now I hope how the compressed length is related to the chain drive tightening, but let's see how we are going to carry it out in thing. Now what we are going to do, we are going to, as I've told you, we are loosen up A, B, C, D. We have loosened up all these nuts. Now what we are going to do, we are going to tighten the nut C till the required compression is achieved. Means after that what we are going to do, we are tightening this C. Means we have loosened this, the thing is fallen down and we are tightening it. As we are tightening it, the spring will getting compressed. Okay, and after that we will see the compression of 20.5 mm is reached, we will stop there. Okay, so this will give the correct tension to the chain. During tightening operation, the engine should be rotated in such a way that the slack side is on the tightening wheel side. Okay, after that, after this 20.5 length compression has achieved by tightening this C, we will now tighten this B at the top. This will, after tightening the B, this will ensure that when C is further tightened, means what we are doing, first we have tightened the C till 20.5 compression is achieved. Means now we have seen that okay, 187 was the compression, now it is 166.5. okay, we have achieved that. Now after that what we are going to do, we are going to tighten the nut B. After the nut B is tightened, this further compression of the spring will not affect the tension. Now, means what I mean to say, now after the nut B is tightened, if we further tighten the C, the spring compression will not be affected and the spring compression will not be changed. After that, we will tighten the nut D and A. Okay. So I hope you understand how we are going to do it. We have in a synopsis. If I tell you, we are loosening A, B, C, D, and after that we are tightening the C such that it reached the point of 20.5 mm compression, and after it is reaching the point of 25 mm compression, we are tightening the nut B, and again we are tightening the nut D and nut A fully so that it is locking the thing up. So I hope you understand how the thing is working. Okay, so I hope friend that I have given you a clear idea of how the chain adjustment is carried out in two different methods, by in large engine and in a small engine. So please do like and subscribe my video, and please share if you like it. And if you want to know the complete knowledge about the chain, please go to the playlist section of the chain type. You will find the whole series and you will get a complete idea. I hope you like the video. Please share. Image credit goes to marineresult.co.uk. Thank you friends.